Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm your name. And today's story is about love, space, and the unexpected cost of trying to find yourself. It's a deeply personal journey about a marriage on pause that became a goodbye. About blocking someone not out of hate, but out of fear and confusion. If you've ever wondered what happens when the space between two people grows too wide, this one's for you. So grab a seat and let's dive in. I stood at the front door, suitcase in hand, my skin still warm from the Bali sun, my heart fluttering with a mixture of excitement and an unease I couldn't quite place. The driveway stretched out before me, empty. No sign of Nathan's car. That was unusual. Nathan always parked right there, parallel to the porch without fail. Even when we argued, he never spent the night elsewhere. I shook off the growing knot in my stomach. Maybe he'd run out to grab something. Maybe he was planning a surprise. I bent down to lift the flower pot where we usually hid the spare key, but it wasn't there. A cold rush of panic began to rise in my chest. I told myself not to jump to conclusions. We hadn't spoken in almost 2 weeks. This could mean anything. I rang the doorbell, waiting. No answer. 5 minutes passed. My fingers clenched the suitcase handle as if it were a lifeline. I sank down onto the porch steps, my throat dry and tight. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. This was supposed to be a break, some breathing room, not a full stop. I had needed space to breathe, to find myself beyond being Nathan's wife. That was my reasoning when I booked the flight, and why I blocked him on everything. Phone, WhatsApp, Instagram, even email. I didn't want the guilt, the explanations, or the pull of his kindness while I sorted my thoughts. I know how it sounds, probably how it looked to him. But in my mind it wasn't a breakup. It was a pause. Temporary. Something we'd laugh about later, maybe even thank each other for. Our marriage wasn't bad, just numb. Predictable. Safe to a fault. Nathan was always working, always present, always steady. But that steadiness made him invisible to me. My friends said, "You're young. You're still vibrant. Take a trip. Clear your head." So I did. For 13 days, I let myself forget about responsibilities. I wandered through lush rice terraces, danced barefoot on moonlit beaches, and felt eyes on me, like I wasn't already spoken for. I flirted with freedom, with possibility. But now, standing here, the house was dark, the porch lifeless. And Nathan, the man I thought would be waiting with open arms, was nowhere. A flicker of panic rose, but I shoved it down. He was probably just upset. We'd talk. I'd explain. Maybe this space would help us reconnect stronger. I didn't realize then that the space I carved out was exactly wide enough for him to walk away. And once he left, he didn't look back. Nathan and I had been married for 6 years. Not perfect years, but comfortable, steady. He was the man who made me eggs every Sunday morning, cooked just how I liked them. The man who always texted, "Let me know when you get home." The one who never raised his voice, never forgot an anniversary or birthday, not even my mom's. And somehow I grew tired of it all. I started resenting how available he was, how he never challenged me, how he always smiled and said, "Whatever you want, love." Even when I wished he'd fight for me, show passion, disagreement, anything. The truth was, Nathan was everything I said I wanted. Until I didn't want it anymore. I didn't notice the cracks growing until I started daydreaming about freedom. Not cheating, not leaving, but just breathing. Being somewhere he wasn't. First, I thought this was normal. All couples get bored, right? But then I talked to the wrong people. One friend said, "You never had a chance to be yourself. You went straight from college to marriage." Another said, "He's too sweet. No wonder you're restless." And someone else whispered the words I wanted to hear. "Go alone. Find yourself. Find your spark." So I did. I booked the trip to Bali, a solo escape under the guise of self-discovery. I told Nathan I needed space to clear my head. He didn't argue, just looked sad. The night before I left, he hugged me tighter than usual and said, "I'll be right here when you're ready." That's exactly why I blocked him the next morning. Not out of hate, but because I couldn't face the guilt, the "I miss you" texts, the pull of his kindness. I blocked his number, then WhatsApp, Instagram, even muted his email. At the airport, nursing a mimosa, I stared at our last text conversation. The final message from him read, "Are we okay? We'll wait. Please don't shut me out." I hovered my thumb over it, then deleted the thread. Not because it didn't matter, but because it mattered too much. I told myself it was temporary. I'd come back refreshed, and we'd laugh about my drama. But in closing that door, I didn't just block him. I slammed it shut on someone who might have waited forever if I'd left it ajar. Bali was breathtaking, too breathtaking. Almost like a place designed to make you forget the weight of life. For the first few days I believed it. I danced barefoot under fairy lights with strangers, sipped sugary cocktails as the waves whispered at my feet, and flirted with a bartender whose tan smile made me feel like I was 21 again. But on day 4 something changed. The sun still shone. The drinks still flowed. But everything felt hollow. I woke with a pit in my stomach. Simple things haunted me. A couple holding hands on the beach reminded me of Nathan absent, mindedly tracing my fingers during Netflix nights. The smell of grilled fish at the night market made me remember the first time he tried to cook and almost burned down the kitchen. At night I dreamed of him. Not the distant, quiet husband, but the man who held my hair when I was sick, who sang badly just to make me laugh, who cried the day we said, "I do." I missed him. But pride kept me silent. Then on day 5 a friend sent me a message. "Did Nathan post something strange? His brother says he's done." My chest clenched. I frantically tried to open his Instagram, blocked. WhatsApp blocked. Text blocked. Email blocked. My phone shook in my hands as I whispered, "That's not like him." Nathan was the one who waited, who stayed, who always left the door open. And now it was slammed shut. Panic crashed over me. I tried logging into burner accounts, Googled his name, even messaged his brother. No reply. For the first time I realized the truth. I had blocked the man I loved so I wouldn't feel guilty for needing a break. And now he was gone. That day I walked the beach alone, watching couples laugh, argue and kiss. I would have given anything to argue with him right then. To hear him say, "Why did you shut me out?" So I could say, "I didn't know how to ask for more without pushing you away." But it was too late. I thought I was breaking free, but I was breaking us. The moment I stepped inside the apartment, the silence hit me. Not peaceful but suffocating. The living room looked the same, but the couch where we used to cuddle still held his dent on one side, and his favorite blanket was gone. I dropped my suitcase and rushed to the bedroom. His side of the closet was half empty. No jackets, no shoes, no watch box on the dresser. His cologne was gone. No note, no voicemail, just absence. I sat on the bed, trembling, and dialed his brother. After one ring he answered, "Oh, you're back. Where is he?" I whispered. There was a pause, then coldness. "He waited for you. For years." This broke him. "What do you mean? Where is he?" "He quit his job, packed up, left town 2 days ago. Didn't say where. Just said he needed to start over." I wanted to scream, demand answers, but I had none to give. Hours later, a notification lit up my phone. Someone tagged Nathan in a photo. My fingers moved before my mind caught up. It was a woman's page, a travel blogger or healer. The caption read, "Helping beautiful souls find peace again. Healing retreat." There he was, smiling next to her on a sun-drenched cliff. Free like he hadn't been in years. My stomach twisted. Was he with someone new? Had he replaced me that easily? Or had I left the door open for him to walk away? I didn't cry. Not yet. Instead, I opened our shared bank account, something I hadn't thought to do since I arrived. The full balance was still there. Actually, he'd transferred all his money into my name. Not a penny taken. Something inside me cracked. The next day, an envelope arrived. No return address, just my name in Nathan's neat handwriting. Inside was a letter. No anger. No blame. Just finality. It wasn't closure. It was goodbye. And somehow that hurt more. Because anger means there's still fire. This was cold ashes. The letter, written on thick cedar-scented paper, read, Waited. Even while you were gone, I waited. Checked my phone constantly, hoping you'd unblock me, say you missed me, need me. But you didn't. Eventually, I stopped hoping. I realized something while you were away. You weren't just on vacation. You were already leaving long before you packed. The night you left, I had a panic attack. Couldn't breathe. Bleep. 3 days later, I checked myself into a silent retreat. No phones, no internet. Just people helping me find what was left of me. That woman you saw. She's my therapist. Not someone I'm dating, someone who helped me remember I'm not worthless. You didn't just block me. You erased me. For the first time, I believe you don't want me. Not even a little. I'm moving to Spain next month. Always wanted to see it. I've taken a new job. Sold my things. I didn't take the money because I don't want to owe you or feel owed. No hard feelings. I loved you. Maybe I still do in some quiet corner. But I love myself more now. Please don't do this to the next person who loves you. No signature. Just empty space. I sat at the kitchen table for hours, rereading the letter, hoping for a postscript, a door left open. Nothing. This wasn't a fight. Not a threat. It was peace. The kind only given when someone stops trying to be loved by you. I wasn't ready for that silence. That stillness. That reality. I had what I wanted, space. But it came at the cost of losing him. Now I live in the apartment alone. The rooms feel colder, emptier. The photos on the walls show our smiles from better days. But they don't speak. They just watch. I've tried reaching out, one message, then another. Just wondering how you are. Miss you. But the messages don't deliver. He hasn't just blocked me, he's disappeared. It's strange. I was the one who needed space. I was the one who shut him out for 2 weeks with no explanation. I told myself I was finding myself, but really I was running. From love, from responsibility, from everything he tried so hard to keep. I started therapy a month ago, journaling every day. My therapist says, the silence you feel now isn't punishment. It's a mirror reflecting all the noise you never faced. Still at night, I swear I hear his keys at the door. I even bought his favorite cereal last week. Muscle memory. Friends tell me, you'll move on. He wasn't your forever if he gave up so easily. But they never saw the version of him I blocked. The one who stood outside in the rain with soup. The one who kept knocking on a door I'd welded shut. This week, I flew back to Bali alone. Not to escape. Not to prove anything. Just to sit. Feel. I walked the shoreline slower this time. No music. No distractions. Just memories. Before I left, I picked up a stick and traced patterns in the sand. I blocked love to feel free. I never knew freedom could feel this empty. The tide washed away the marks. But the ache stayed. Thanks for listening to this story. Sometimes the hardest battles aren't fought with words, but with silence, and the spaces we create between us. If this resonated with you, please hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Remember, healing isn't linear, and sometimes the toughest endings lead to the strongest beginnings. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.